Alright guys, welcome back to Home Built, and we are going to take the Alfarrari in for its brake test, and fingers crossed it all works. I've got a 150k round trip to do it, so let's get on the road.
First time driving the Alfarrari on the road, and it has a lot of vibrations. It's still very weird. The top row, the top gate of the gearbox likes to jump out of gear, which is slightly disconcerting. The bottom row is good. The bottom row locks in, the top row is out. So there's obviously something with my gear linkage that's not quite right. But we're driving to the brake test right now to see how we go. Looks like the fuel gauge is not working properly because I just topped it right up and it's only reading just over a quarter full. So we'll see. At this stage, we're rolling. Very strange. Oh, jumping out of third again. It's very strange driving this car on the road. Just it's a very strange sensation. It vibrates a lot in the cabin. I think a lot of that is just due to hard engine mounts. Got an inbuilt warning function when you hit over 140 kilometers an hour. I at 110 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit. This reads at 147 kilometers an hour. The speedo is out by that measure, and it's either drive really slow or listen to the beep. I definitely have to change that very soon. It's sitting around 75 degrees, which is probably a little bit cool, to be honest. But yeah, it's definitely not struggling to stay cool, which is good. Everything else seems to be running okay. Vibrations aren't as bad at this speed. Actually, it's noisy, but actually at this speed, besides that stupid beep, I'll slow down just a bit. Just a little bit slower, I don't get that beep. At freeway speeds, it's actually much quieter than my 911. I think the induction noise in my 911 is loud, so I think I'll just sit at 100 k's an hour because that's just underneath the annoying beep. And yeah, so there we go. All right, we got here in one piece. The car vibrates a lot. I'm worried that it's rattled things out, but we're here, or at least I'm like a couple of minutes away. I'm going to stop, have a coffee, have a break, and then we'll move on to the testing and see how that goes. We passed. He was over the moon. He was really happy with the car. That's such a relief. Yeah, like I'm on my way home now and everything went the way it's supposed to, which is absolutely amazing. At this stage, it works. It's keeping the temperature, it brakes, it turns, does vibrate a lot, but we have a win. Oh, that's such a relief. So this afternoon, the next thing to do is I need a weighbridge ticket for this car. So I might actually drive up and get that. So that.
A little bit of a disjointed video this time because I wasn't totally planning on filming everything on this. I'm just cobbling together because you guys want to know. The car weighs 1,220 kilos, fully wet, full tank of fuel, completely done. Now, originally it weighed about 1,050 kilos, and I don't know for certain, but I'm guessing that that is dry because Italian things, like they seem to like dry weights. So that could be more like, it's with a full tank of fuel and oil and everything else, you're talking probably 60, 70 kilos extra. So this is probably 100 kilos to anywhere between 100 and 170 kilos different from the original. So it is heavier, but it's got more than 3 times the power of the original. Been strange getting my head around it because it does vibrate a lot when you start it up. The whole thing vibrates, particularly under 3,000 RPM. If you can cruise just over 3,000 RPM in whatever gear, it just smooths out nicely and it's much more pleasant. But it does vibrate a lot because the engine mounts are very stiff. They're polyurethane leaf spring bushings, so there's not much give in them, and they don't soak up a lot of the vibration. So at low revs, the thing sort of buzzes, but once you get it up higher, it just goes. And the couple of times I got on it, holy moly, this thing's fun. It's definitely, I haven't given it the full beans yet. I haven't taken it out to redline, and there's still some tuning things to do on it. There's definitely some tweaks I need to do. Driver's door is really difficult to open, doesn't always open, so I need to have a play around with the locks, and there is some vibration coming from inside there. The speedo calibration is extremely annoying. At 140 kilometers indicated, having that warning beep is just painful. And of course, I wasn't doing 140 k's an hour, I was doing 104, and that reads 140 on the gauge. So I definitely need to recalibrate that speedo and get rid of that warning. Temperature wise, I think it ran cool and perfectly the whole time. The fan kicks on too early, and it wasn't actually getting, wasn't probably getting hot enough. At most it was getting up to sort of high 80 degrees Celsius, whereas I wanted to get to sort of 90, 95 at the hottest. So I think I can bump that fan up a little bit higher and kick on a little bit later. There's definitely some tuning that needs to be done. That is just getting some of the rest of it right. But the engineer was extremely happy. He was skeptical of how this car was going to be because I've changed everything, because I've done everything, and he loved it. It was good. It braked perfectly the whole time, even though the brakes are not as firm, I should say, as what I would like. They performed flawlessly. Way above the standard needed. It brakes way better than most of the modern cars you test and stuff. Like it does the thing. It just, the pedal doesn't have that feel that I would love, which is something I can work on. Looked at a bunch of suggestions, so yes, I will be looking more into that. Fuel gauge doesn't work properly. It's not reading correctly. There are things to address, and we will address them in the future, but we are full steam ahead for registrations. So the process now is
the engineer has to write his report, and he's going to send me the report. Once I have the report, I can then take that to a local mechanic who can do in New South Wales what's called a blue slip. So the testing procedure in New South Wales, where I am, every year your car needs to get a pink slip. The pink slip is just a general check over to make sure your headlights work, your horn works, you don't have any rust holes in it, your brakes work, and that sort of thing. It's a pretty quick check, sort of 10 or 15 minutes, and that's not a big problem. Almost every mechanic can do that. There's a small amount of mechanics that can do a blue slip. So that's for an unregistered vehicle, and that's a bit more involved. We have to go through, they have to make sure, double check the VIN number, the engine number, and go over the whole thing and make sure it all complies and everything is right. I've got to do that, and then I can apply for registration. So it's still probably, realistically, it's still going to be a month before I actually have number plates on it. But the testing is done, it's passed, it's going to be on the road. Yes! So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. A bit of a bonus one, and yeah, there is more things to come on the Alfarrari very soon.